Hey, everybody, welcome to the Mark Parham Podcast. You can follow me on Spotify or wherever you listen to podcasts by just typing in Mark Parham Podcast and it should pop up. I've been listening to Donald Trump and some of his speeches and things like that. And, Donald Trump, when you really look at him, when you listen to him, he's somebody that lacks self awareness. And the reason why I'm saying that is because, he says stuff that doesn't even make sense. He'll say things like, oh, well, everybody agrees with what I'm saying and all this other mess. I'm just paraphrasing, but he'll say things where it's just like he's never wrong, where, everybody is a fan of his. After the day, it's just like he's the perfect politician. He's done more than, you know, this president. He's a hero. Like, he's somebody that lives in his own reality. And it's amazing to me because I'm like, some things, you have to have a little bit of humility. Like, you don't want to be somebody who comes off all the time like you're great or some figure that's bigger than life. Like Donald Trump is just, again, he lacks self-awareness. It's like even if you are doing a lot of things and you're really talented, you don't have to say it all the time. Like he's like the type of person where it's just like, how you have an athlete that always sits up and just very cocky after the day all the time. And it's just like people are sitting back and saying, okay, we know you're good. You don't always have to sit up and spike the football all the time, like quote unquote. And so Donald Trump is somebody where it's just like he could sit up in just a little tiny thing that he could do just a random thing. And he's got to sit up and, act like it's just world changing, like it's going to change the world. I mean, look at this mess with the ballroom, how oh, the ballroom and this and that, and it's going to be so grand. And it's just like right now, instead of worrying about a ballroom and all this other stuff, worry about the American people. Like, people aren't concerned about your ballroom that's supposed to be millions of dollars. And it just goes to show you that he lacks self-awareness. Like, he was even talking about the ballroom, I think, I might be wrong, but around the time when with the whole Charlie Kirk situation. Like, he, instead of sitting up and worrying about Charlie Kirk, I think it was something I was looking at where he went on to talk about the ballroom after people were asking him questions about, Charlie Kirk and, him passing away and stuff, and, his injuries and things like that. And so it's just like Donald Trump is very tone deaf. Like, even if you look at politicians we've had before, at least they've, at least shown some humility every once in a while. But Donald Trump is just like, you would think he's like the greatest leader in the world, the way he talks about himself. And he lacks a lot of self-awareness. And it's getting to the point where Republicans are even tired of him. Like, you don't have to sit up and, act like you're the greatest thing since sliced bread all the time. It's like, sit up, do something great, and keep it moving on to the next thing. But you don't got to act like, you're some God or something like that. And so it's getting to the point now where it's just like I'm looking at these midterm elections that are coming up, and I don't think the Republicans are going to do too well. And not necessarily because, people don't care for Republicans, but Donald Trump and this war and all this stuff going on with the economy is really putting Republicans in a very weak position going forward. Especially at a time where Republicans were, having problems finding out their identity and things like that. And now he's given the Democrats another, another, as they say, a lease on life, as they would say. And so, Donald Trump making all these mistakes, he's revived the Democrat Party. I mean, look at all of these progressives and stuff that are now getting elected in certain states and in certain areas that normally would never vote for a Democrat. And so Donald Trump keeps this up, it's going to be a mess for the midterm elections. And not even just that. You think about it, in 2028, when they, running, and it's the presidential elections, this is giving the Democrats a chance. If the Democrats are smart enough to not elect somebody who's this like huge left-wing person, in my opinion. Like, the Democrats are going to need somebody that can debate and things like that. Like, it's not going to be a sure situation where, people dislike Trump to the point where they're going to just put in anybody. Because it's like, if the Democrats sit up and put in like a AOC type of candidate, then, the Republicans will win again. And so even though Donald Trump is messing up the Republican Party right now, I would say that the Democrats don't need to be cocky and think, well, you know what, we got this thing and we're going to win. Because, like I said, in politics, anything can happen. If the Democrats are smart, they really take their time and pick a candidate that is not just some left-wing person that can't win votes in, the middle of America, in those states and stuff like that. Like, you're going to need somebody who can win the Midwest. And so even though Donald Trump is, sort of all over the place, Democrats don't need to look at this as like, oh, well, this is going to be very easy for us in the future, because people aren't happy with the Democrats either. And so, like I said, give this video a like.